Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
Fat kiddo on the ground again, dirt can stain him sometimes. And on this episode of Forget What You Heard, we're getting divisional again, baby.
Paparazzi.
Another day, another division. But before we get started, I gotta hear it, man. Before anything else in this world. How you doing, Brother Barrick?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking. I'm very intrigued that you're very intrigued in how I'm doing, and I appreciate that.
You're an intriguing guy, man. I love to hear about how you're doing. And it's an honor to be here with you, as always. I mean, this is our thing. We love it. And what division are we breaking down today, brothers?
Looks like we're going east to the AFC East, baby.
Ooh. Good or bad and interesting and indifferent and whimsically inclined.
The truffle butter of the AFC.
Wow, I've never heard it called that.
Welcome along.
All right, man. AFC East, man. Let's get right into it. Let's go with the New York Jets.
Pop.
The New York Football Jets.
Yes, sir. Meadowlands.
Let's just get into the news that broke today. Zach Wilson getting surgery in L.A. It looks like there's not more damage than they thought. I think they were kind of holding out hope that it was just the meniscus or whatever and nothing more. Looks like it's 2 to 4 weeks, man. Looks like he's not going to be ready for week 1.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yeah, it's good news and a little, disappointing it happened. And actually, maybe it's a good thing it happened the first week of preseason, huh?
You saying that just because it could have been worse if it happened later on?
Yeah, like the fourth preseason game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, better to get it out of the way now than deal with it later on. I agree with that.
This Jets team is interesting. I think it's kind of nice to look at on paper. You know, they got some young... I'd say this is a really young and fun team.
Yeah.
You know, with the likes of Zach Wilson, Breece Hall. They drafted this year Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, another top pick. They brought in C.J. Azuma. They got Saucy Gardner.
Ooh.
It's interesting. What are your thoughts and sentiments on the New York Football Jets for 2022-23 season?
Yeah, you mentioned it, man. They have a lot of good young players. I think they had an excellent draft. That first, 2 rounds were like, dang. They got some studs, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, and just to name a few. Breece Hall is another guy. But like you said, it's a young team. With young team comes growing pains. Comes with a lot of hard losses. And in my opinion, I think there's going to be a lot of growing pains this season. With the young teams, that we'll have to see if Zach Wilson can improve, show them that he's the franchise guy, and then see if this defense can take that step. I know early on last year, the first 4 or 5 weeks, the defense was actually pretty solid. I think they were able to stop teams, force some 3-and-outs. It's just the offense just couldn't really stay on the field, and so by the end of the year, they're just worn out and tired and injured and stuff. But I expect the defense to be pretty solid, at least in that, an improved defense. They're not going to be bottom of the barrel, in my opinion, this year. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my outlook for them. It's just obviously watching the young talent, Breece Hall, what's he going to do? Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson. What does the offense look like? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, you mentioned their defense being pretty good. I mean, at every level, they have a pretty, studly player. Quincy Williams, C.J. Mosley, Sauce Gardner. They got some studs at, each level of the defense. If Sauce, that remains to be seen. But from what I'm hearing in training camp, he's got that juju. He's got that mystical gene the quarterback needs,
Oh, I love Sauce. Yeah, I think he's a big reason why I think this defense has improved for sure.
But I think at the end of the day, the fate of the Jets is on the shoulders of Zach Wilson. I mean, the Jets go as he goes. If he's the stud, he pans out to, be even a good NFL quarterback and, takes care of the ball, limits the interceptions, makes the easy throw. I know the cons are that he doesn't check down. He's looking for the big play always. He's looking to use that rocket arm. He's not doing the screens, the dump downs. And if you can just make things easier and then work the ball, get the 3-yard gain every now and again. You don't need that home run play. You got to be a game manager, But he's got that gunslinger in him. He's got to tone it down. What are your expectations for Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I was, heading into this offseason, I was expecting him to improve coming into this year, have a pretty solid season, look good, you'd be able to see the flashes. But with the injury and the reports in training camp saying that he hasn't been very good and Joe Flacco's, kind of been the better quarterback. I mean, obviously, recency bias makes you think, maybe he's not the one, maybe he doesn't have the consistency, the makeup to become like a true, franchise quarterback. Because, I mean, obviously the tools are there. You expect an improvement. They added weapons around him, bolstered up that offensive line. So, I mean, really it would be hard to give him some excuses coming into this year. But I guess with this injury, so early and often, that can be an excuse for him.
Yeah, I think it buys him more time. Zach High School Musical Wilson. That's the nickname I've come up with.
What's that from?
He looks like Zac Efron from High School Musicals.
Oh, pretty boy.
I was gonna sing a song from High School Musical, but it eludes me at the moment. Do you have one?
What's the one where they're on the rooftop?
Get your head in the game. Gotta get the head in game.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I think, with this wide receiver core, it won't hurt that much to have Joe Flacco as the Week 1 starter.
No,
I think Elijah Moore will be fine. I think Garrett Wilson looked good in his first preseason game. I have high hopes for him. Corey Davis is really flying under the radar. Is it? It's just his time is.
Yeah, I think
coming to an end.
Looking at the offense, I think a very interesting thing to watch for is how are they going to distribute the receiver snaps. They brought back Berrios. I think he signed a 2-year, $17 million deal. They paid him. He's going to play. Corey Davis signed the big 4-year deal 2 years last year. And then you brought in rookie Garrett Wilson, and Elijah Moore was their stud last year. He was kind of like their breakout guy. And, that's 4 wide. You're not always going to play 4 receivers. So I'm just interested to see who kind of gets left out of that group. In my opinion, I would expect it to be Berrios, but he's also like the most natural slot guy. Corey Davis is the X for the big, number 1 receiver to play outside. So it's just, is Garrett Wilson going to lose snaps? Is Elijah Moore? I'm just interested to see how that shakes out. And you took Garrett Wilson top 10, so it's like you can't really leave him off the field, but just looking at it, he might be the guy that loses snaps, which could be crazy, but.
Yeah, I know Elijah Moore's been destroying camp, and it looks
he's
like he's going to be the number 1. Denzel Mims, man. Forgot about that guy, man.
Nah, I ain't forget, man. He's doghouse, man. He's going to have to find a new home, man.
He's dog water on it.
They need to let him go and find a new place.
What?
Is it possible if Zach Wilson doesn't improve this year, they move on already? Is that too soon?
I think it's too soon.
Okay.
He'll play out his contract.
You think so as a starter? What if they underperform this year and end up with a top 3 pick, a chance to get like C.J. Stroud? Do you think they pass on him?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think they'll ride with Wilson.
Interesting.
I really like their backfield. I like Breece Hall and Michael Carter. I assume that Breece Hall, is it a workhorse role, or is it, Michael Carter kind of like the third down back or the receiving back, or is Breece Hall a do-it-all kind of guy? Is he kind of like
No,
the janitor?
No, he is. Brees Hall is. I mean, his profile is, but his rookie year at the beginning of 2022, it's going to be 50-50 split. And then as the season goes on, whoever's performing better is kind of going to be like their more reliable running back. I think you go into it 50-50. If Brees Hall underperforms and Michael Carter is performing, you let him handle most of the work, fine. But I think everyone expects Brees Hall in a 50-50 split, if he's competing with Michael Carter, to be the better guy. And they drafted him in the second round to be that guy, top 40 pick. So I think early on it will be like a 50-50. They're both getting a lot of work on the ground, through the air. But then as the season goes on, they're looking for that. Yeah, they're looking for Brees Hall to be that guy, but I think they're going to give Michael Carter that chance to win the majority of the snaps as well, because of what he showed last year. And I think he's a good player, even as a third down back. I think he deserves the snaps, and I think he can be good with them too. But Brees Hall will be that guy by the end of the year. I believe that.
Let's get into the stuff that'll stick in podcast history forever, and we can't take it back. The Jets' record.
You want me up first?
You scared of it?
I am scared of it, man, because early in the offseason, man, I was saying this team would be the most improved. They would make a good run in 2022, just through the draft, and, maybe Zach Wilson steps up. But I believe it's a year early. Like I said, I do believe the defense improves, even at least a little bit. I'm just skeptical of how well this offense is going to operate. I have them going 5-12 this year.
I also have them going 5-12. I agree with you. I think it's a year early. And the Zach Wilson thing really dampens my spirits about the Jets. If he was like showing out and stuff, and he didn't even look good in the preseason game. I know he got hurt, but before he got injured,
yeah, it was only a few snaps. So.
He looked like old Zach Wilson. Didn't he have a pick or something? Or no?
He might have. Pick or fumble, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the improvement of the Jets is going to, fall on the shoulder of Zach Wilson, and I just don't see it. Maybe Joe Flacco's the guy. I don't know.
I like that they kind of address, though, like their biggest needs. Like, I think they were 26 last year in rushing attempts. They go out, they get Brees Hall. They draft some offensive line. They bring in Lincoln Tomlinson, Connor McGovern.
Dwayne Brown.
So, being 26 rushing attempts, we expect that to go up and them to be more efficient. And then they were 29th in interceptions last year, and they draft Sauce Gardner and Jermaine Johnson to get pressure to force some more turnovers.
No,
and so to me, those were like two of their biggest weaknesses, and they kind of filled that in. So they should, in theory, improve from being 4-13 last year.
Yeah, I don't know the record last year, but something like that.
And looking at the schedule, I see 5 games I think they should win. Chicago Bears week 12, Detroit week 15, Jacksonville week 16, Seattle week 17. And then I think they can probably split one of the divisional games with Miami or
they'll get one.
The Patriots or something. They always, for some reason, get the Patriots. So that ends up being 5 or 6 games. And I think that's kind of like 6 games to me would be like their ceiling this year. Just look, they got a really tough division, tough schedule, and I don't know.
I think they'll get off to a slow start too.
They play the AFC North the first 4 games.
Yeah, with the Wilson injury, Joe Flacco, he's got to get up to speed and stuff like that. I just see it being a rough start.
Are the skill positions on offense set up to be just fine? Like, if you throw like a good quarterback into this Jets offense, you think their skill positions are good enough to like win?
Oh, Hector, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
So you think they've set up their franchise quarterback with their skill positions?
Yeah, I think they've done a great job of putting talent around Zach Wilson. I mean, bringing in a top 10 pick and Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. Elijah Moore emerged. They drafted him last year. Brees Hall. He was the first running back taken. Like, they're making it a priority. So, I mean, looking at it on paper, I mean, there's more than enough. They brought in C.J. Uzoma
And Tyler Conklin.
and Conklin, yeah. So I think,
So you do think the group is good enough?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
if you put a good quarterback in there, this team is, tough to stop. Like, they got talent at
Yeah.
every skill position. You look around, I see it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even Corey Davis is sneaky, man. He still can play, man.
Darn good number 3 if he's the
Yeah.
number 3,
And Braxton Berrios, like, they have it all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Wilson can be a game breaker.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore is that guy. Like, they have. I think, the news coming from training, I haven't heard anything about Garrett Wilson. Have you? Like, there's not reports of
I didn't early on, which was kind of concerning, but as of late I have.
good.
Yeah, that his like after the catch ability,
Yak.
like he'll catch like, a short, 5-yard slant and take it 17 more yards and stuff like
I
that.
love it. I think I really, really like him, and I think he's being slept on.
Yeah, he's a darn good player, honestly.
I mean, yeah, at Ohio State, he's got the resume. He looks the part. And I'm really interested to see Brees Hall. I'm very interested. It's nice to have like that, like a top running back from the draft. Getting that chance to be that number one dude. I think that's exciting. It's like when I think about the Jets, I get a little excited, and I'm sure they're excited too.
Yeah, I think so, especially with Robert Saleh. I think, he might be on the hot seat, but I feel like if you're a Jets fan, you have to feel like you're heading towards the right direction as an organization. Just with the talent, a lot of things, man. I think they're moving in the right way, but still a couple years out, I believe.
Do you have any bold takes, hot takes?
Yeah, Zach Wilson comes back healthy. He takes the second-year leap. He takes the Jets to the playoffs, and the Jets are this year's Cincinnati Bengals.
Super Bowl?
Playoffs.
Juniors.
They won't get to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're that level yet. But he takes that second-year leap where he's like making those crazy plays. He's not fully consistent, but, he's not turning the ball over as much as he was last year. And he has that playmaking ability to where like this team pulls out some crazy games, and he just looks good. He's a solid quarterback, and I think this team is built really good around him, and they make the playoffs. That's my bold prediction.
I like that. It's positive. Very good. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good roster if you ask me.
I got a positive one for you. Brees Hall has over 1,200 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns as a rookie.
1,200 yards, 10. I like that.
And he's a stud that we all know and love, and he becomes a household name.
Is that 1,200 total yards or 1,200 rush?
That's just rush.
Okay.
So you could add a little cherry on top if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I love Brees Hall. I think he can be Jonathan Taylor 2.0. If this offensive line can be good. I know that Mekhi Becton, I think they lost for the season. They brought in Dwayne Brown, who I know he's old, but
he knows how to play the game.
they're still trying to maintain the offensive line. Obviously, that's been like a main focus for them, especially with Becton going down and then going out and throwing $22 million at Dwayne Brown. To me, shows that they're trying to build a good offensive line. They care about it, and I think they've done good. Lincoln Tomlinson's no joke at left guard. Vera Tucker showed a lot of good flashes last year, and I mean I think it's much improved, and I think Brees Hall, if you open up some lanes, he's very dangerous.
Brees the Fleece Hall.
My second bold prediction is Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson win Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, wow.
They both win Rookie of the Year.
I like that one a lot.
You do?
Yeah, I like it. I like it because I think I'm already a huge fan of both.
Really?
And I haven't really seen them play yet.
I guess it kind of ties into my first prediction. Like, Zach Wilson takes the second leap, so Garrett Wilson has a really good season. Close to 1,000 yards, 6-7 touchdowns. And then, Sauce comes in, he's shut down, and people were scared of him and stuff, So I think he can bring that type of impact.
I just don't remember the last time liked a Jet skill position player.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I look forward to watching them.
You remember when LaDainian Tomlinson was on their team?
Yeah, Plaxico.
Thomas Jones.
I think Plaxico scored like 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, Jericho
Remember that?
Cotchery. Yeah.
I can't really think of.
Jericho Cotchery.
I didn't ever root for him. I like Chris Herndon, the 5th.
Oh, yeah. He didn't know it.
He's somewhere now, I forget.
I guess Robbie Anderson. Who was there when Gase was there? Anybody good?
Jamison Crowder?
Crowder, Robbie Anderson.
God dang, he stunk.
There's probably a guy we're missing, but
my second bold prediction is, we mentioned him a lot. Garrett Wilson is the most productive, fantastic, talented rookie receiver. Out of this great class, he's like head over heels. That doesn't make sense. He's worlds away in terms of talent, and he's great.
yeah, I think in terms of his talent, I think, he was arguably the best, most talented guy in the draft. There's all that talk, him going top 5. And, he's a stud, in my opinion. There's not a lot that he can't do. But I guess the argument would be, Drake London's probably in a better opportunity in terms of target share. Maybe Treylon Burks as well. But if you're betting on the talent, like Garrett Wilson could be more talented. Elijah Moore could come in and command the number 1 targets on this team pretty early and often. There's always that one guy. Jamar Chase was drafted high. Oh, a lot of non-believers. The training camp wasn't very negative, but it doesn't matter. He's so talented. He gets out on the field when it matters, and he explodes. So I can see that. We shouldn't really expect anything else from Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, being drafted as highly as he was, he's
highly and talented.
He's gonna get funneled the ball, just where he was drafted alone. But if he, what he does with those targets, what he does with those receptions, will be the tail of the tape.
You gotta love to be a quarterback having Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson as your receivers, because one of them and both of them are probably going to be open on every play. Just the separation and their speed and talent. Like every play, one of them's going to be open.
You either love it or hate it.
You gotta love it.
If you stink, you hate it, because everyone's going to get mad at you because you stink.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's a young team.
You got another bold prediction?
I don't.
I have one, and it's Zach Wilson loses starting job to Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco goes in week 1, hair on fire. Stoic as ever. Nothing can faze that man, and he goes out and he throws for, we're talking 300 plus and 3 touchdowns. Looks like Joe Flacco from 2000.
Week 1,
16.
Revenge game against Baltimore.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's meant to be, dude. And he won't let go of that starting job. And, they give him a chance week 2, lights it up again. He's looking like an old Joe. He takes the job from Zach Wilson.
Just never looks back.
Yeah, and then there'll be a QB competition next summer.
Is it ironic that Joe Flacco looks more like a Raven than any other player in the NFL?
Joe Flacco, he does look like he's a Raven personified. He looks like I don't know, just someone you doesn't have a sense of humor at all.
Would you trust Joe Flacco?
Not
personally.
I couldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, dude. I don't know, something about him gives off a very strange, untrustworthy, difficult understanding vibe.
Wow. Maybe it's just because he's been on the Ravens so long, he just started to slowly turn into one. But I think he's a solid quarterback, backup quarterback.
He's solid.
Yeah.
But that was just a bold prediction. I don't think he's got the juice that he once had.
Yeah, it's just a bold prediction. We don't expect these to happen, but he's solid and he's definitely capable of it.
I have another bold prediction. Jets only primetime game. Camera pans over to Joe Namath, who was bare-chested with the Jets logo shaved into his chest hair. Proceeds to shake fans' hands with his feet and act like nothing is possible, nothing strange is going on.
Just like it's normal for him.
Yeah, and he's in the nosebleeds too. He's just sitting by himself in the nosebleeds.
It's just, man, that would be crazy. His chest hair's just hanging out, and he's got the
Jets, the new logo. Like the word Jets.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly symmetrical and just magnificent.
He's just
and they're like, oh, there's old Broadway Joe, and they pan. He's like, literally the top row.
He's in the nose.
People are noticing him, and he's shaking with his feet.
Yeah, but he's got his arms around the chairs, like laying back.
Very comfortable.
There's like no one around him for like 5 or 6 seats.
Yeah, he's like very just living his best life.
Just chilling. Yeah.
Not quite sure if he knows where he's at, but he's there.
Yeah, he's definitely off them things.
All right, let's go to our next team.
Please, man, I'd love to.
The Evil Empire. The New England Patriots.
It's a good one, man.
Dang.
Yeah, someone get Hank Williams Jr. out here, man.
We need him back to do the Monday Night Football. I don't care what you got to do. Pay him his money.
I
Let
agree.
him drink beer on the set. I don't care.
I agree, man.
I miss it.
That was the best one of all time.
The Patriots, man. There's a lot of weird things going on this offseason. They still haven't named a guy who their offensive coordinator.
Is that a big deal for you?
I mean, I don't read into it. I mean,
why is that such a big deal that they don't have an offensive coordinator?
I have no idea why it's a big deal, but it's newsworthy for
It
some
is.
people, I guess.
Yeah.
I could care less.
Right. Who cares?
I mean, with Bill Belichick at the helm, weird things are normal. Like, I just expect weird things to be coming out of camp and stuff like that.
Exactly, and it's like, they act like it's a big deal, but like at the end of the day, if week 1 comes, like Bill Belichick could just call the plays.
It's not, yeah, it's...
Like, what? And it doesn't make any sense, but we'll move on.
Yeah, it's the year 2 of the Mac Daddy Jones.
Slippy slop, baby.
You like him a lot?
I do like him. It's hard to just... I'm not sure he's as good as advertised. I will say that. But I do expect him to improve on what he did last year, or at least be the game manager that he's been able to do early on in his career.
I think Mac Jones is grossly overrated. They had him in the top 100 players in the NFL. I think that's over Kirk Cousins. I think that's a disgrace.
Did they actually?
Yeah. I think it's a disgrace.
Oh, that don't sit right
and an
with me.
abomination.
That don't sit right with me.
What has Mac Jones done? Kirk Cousins at least made the Pro Bowl and made it to the playoffs and won a playoff game and stuff like that.
I was very happy to see Kirk Cousins make it. I think he was, 99? I think it was his first time. Very deserving. Very underrated the most underrated quarterback in my opinion. But then you telling me that Mac Jones made it over him higher than, what was he in the 90s, 80s?
What was he? Was it 80s?
Who?
Mac Jones?
I didn't know he was on. You were the one that told me about it. I
think he's like 88 or 87.
Really? He's not...
Abomination.
He's not that much, but yeah, no. I would take Kirk Cousins straight out, man. Mac Jones, yeah, he had a good rookie year. Congratulations. But to be ahead of Kirk, no, that's just...
Luke, can you explain to me what the hype is around this kid?
I think honestly, it's the Patriots, the Tom Brady love. Patriots have a huge fan base. And he was good his rookie year. I mean, honestly, he was efficient. He outperformed every other rookie quarterback, which is not surprising because the Patriots are going to make it to where it's as easy as anyone. They're going to not open up the playbook fully. They're going to make easy throws and stuff. And he was good. I'll give him that. I mean, he was the best quarterback. And I think there's a lot of hype because it was a great draft class for quarterbacks last year. 3 quarterbacks went up before him. So a lot of guys are thinking, man, he's better than these guys. But we have yet to see the upside of Fields and Lance and Lawrence. And their upside is way higher than Mac Jones, guys. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I guess, we'll continue with the other players on this team. They're bringing back Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. They brought in Ty Montgomery. Maybe he's a little James White replacement.
Could be.
You had a great career, James. We love you.
Yeah.
They brought in Devontae Parker. They still have Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers. They drafted Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith were big signings last year. It's basically, to me, this team is really vanilla. Nothing, there's no flavor. Very boring. It's as boring as watching a baby otter learn to swim. Frustrating. Nothing to it, just got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but are the Patriots typically boring though?
I guess they are. They were, besides Tom Brady. No, I mean, they had the Randy Moss, the Wes Welker,
The Stephon Gilmore's.
Aaron Hernandez. That's not boring.
Right, that's true.
But towards, they had the Deion Branch years and stuff, and I guess towards the end of Brady's career, it was kind of just a boring team. But Tom Brady, Mac Jones aren't even in the same breath, in my opinion. They're not. I think that's the thing. They want to anoint the second coming of Brady, so they're pushing this Mac Jones narrative.
I can agree with that.
And everyone's buying into this snake oil.
I can agree with that.
I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I think another way why we look at it the way we do is they've lost a lot of key pieces in free agency, and the way they drafted and the way they did free agency, I don't think it replaces those losses immediately, because we were all questioning their draft, why are they drafting 2 running backs? Why Cole Strange so early? Tyquan Thornton so early? We're just all not very good. They lost a lot of key pieces, a lot of uncertainty. And the biggest loss, in my opinion, as to why I'm not sure about the Patriots is losing Josh McDaniels. And I think that can go a long way, his development with Mac Jones in his rookie year. I think that's a big deal. And not having that hands-on offensive coordinator, I'm not sure Joe Judge or Patricia is, obviously they're probably not as offensive-minded, quarterback-oriented as Josh McDaniels is, which I think could be trouble for the Patriots offensively, being able to move the ball and stuff. And we'll see, man.
Yeah, and like I said, they're just vanilla and boring.
Not a lot of depth, not a lot of great skill position players.
Even on defense, Kyle Duggar is their standout. They brought back Malcolm Butler for the 8th time. He'll go somewhere for 1 year and come right back to the Patriots, it feels like.
Yeah.
Jalen Mills,
Super Bowl
all
hero.
about him. Devin McCourty is the same thing. They have Matthew Judon and things like that. Their defense isn't bad, but there's not that the alpha dog, the guy that's going to make the big play. I don't think there could be, but it's just a very run-of-the-mill Patriots team without Tom Brady, which is a huge factor to me.
Yeah, and then the losses, J.C. Jackson was a freak. He's one of the best corners in the league. Not really replacing him. Jalen Mills, Terrence Mitchell are going to be their starters, with Jonathan Jones and Malcolm Butler mixed in. Just not as scary as they have been in the past. They've always had the Jacksons, the Gilmores, the Ty Laws, guys like that are just you can't really do much about him. But then their safety group is weird. They have 4 really strong safeties. Devin McCourty, Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers, which is strange. I'm not sure how they're going to play that out. Maybe they'll cut someone, or maybe one of them will play the slot or something. But just an interesting mix. I'm not sure what Belichick is thinking. Judon, he's a sack machine. He's probably their best defensive player, obviously. But the thing that Bill Belichick does best is he zigs when everyone in the NFL zags.
He makes something out of nothing.
Bill Belichick is a bully ball coach, is how I would describe it. They drafted 2 more running backs. James White retires. But I think ultimately the NFL is a passing off. Everyone wants to throw.
He's gonna zag.
The Dolphins, go get Tyreek Hill, we're throwing now. The Eagles, A.J. Brown, we're throwing now. Both teams that were known for kind of being more running-oriented. Everyone's going to start throwing the ball. But Bill Belichick says, no, sir. You guys are going this way, I'm going that way. We're going to run. We don't care about the losses. because we're just going to run the ball, and that's how we're going to win games.
Let me ask you this. That leads me into my question. Is this Bill Belichick's last year as the head coach for the New England Patriots?
I think it's possible. I think we have to wait and see if they bring in an offensive coordinator. Like if they bring in like a young, maybe a young college guy that comes and like kind of learns the offense and then takes over, like we kind of expected Josh McDaniels to do. I think that would make sense. Or I guess he hands the reins over to Joe Judge or Patricia.
Golly.
But I can't see that really happening like that. I think everyone expected McDaniels to stay until Belichick leaves.
left.
Like he knew,
And he would take the...
because he was the Patriot. You know, he knew Belichick's everything. You know how to run everything. But I think, I mean, I don't know if this will be his last year or maybe one more year after this. But I think if they bring in an offensive coordinator, I think it's telling that he might be Belichick's replacement. Maybe that's what they're waiting for, to find the guy, you know?
Maybe.
James White retires. Who fills his role?
Ty Montgomery, but I think also Ramondre Stevenson showed that he's very capable at catching. I don't think there is replacing the whole James White role. I think it's done by committee. Multiple backs. The backfield's very interesting. Like you said, they drafted those two running backs. It's like there's so many running backs, but they have Damian Harris, who's been good. He has fumbling issues. Ramondre was really good last year. There's whispers that Ramondre, could take over that role. Does that mean Damian Harris is on the trade block? I don't know. I can't read the Patriot. Like, reading the Patriots is like reading Braille, dude. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I've heard the Damian Harris news too. It just wouldn't make sense from the Patriots standpoint to trade Damian Harris in his final year. I don't think, like, it would make sense from like a normal person standpoint, but I think the Patriots have always been known for like, it's their last year, we're going to run them all the way to the end and then let them walk. Like, that's just what they do. They don't really care like that. And I think drafting those two running backs are telling. They probably knew James White was leaving. We'll get his replacement in Pierre Strong and then see what we can get out of Kevin Harris because he was a stud, just injuries. And, I think Ramondre Stevenson can be a 3-down back, especially if he's working on his hands. Like you said, he could probably come in and fill that James White role. And he's 230 pounds, so he's a guy that you could give to in between the tackles, a 3-down back for sure, in my opinion. And then Pierre Strong, he could be, a nice little stud out there too. So, but I don't expect Damian Harris to be traded. I'm sure the rumors will keep going on and on as the season goes on, but I don't expect it.
What about this wide receiver core?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions out there, Bug.
Devontae Parker has had his flash. It's just, it doesn't do anything for me, man. Like, Jacoby Myers has flashes. Kendrick Bourne's all right. Devontae's okay. Nelson. The only one that kind of excites me is Tyquan Thornton, man. The speed merchant on a Baylor. Can he be the game breaker?
I don't think so. He could be, yeah. They took a lot of, risks taking him so early. But you've always been a fan of Devontae Parker. You just don't like him on the Patriots, or you just think he's past his prime, or?
I don't like him on the Patriots. I don't like Mac Jones.
So it just ultimately comes down to Mac Jones.
I don't think he's good.
Okay.
That's just how
you don't
I
think
feel.
He's good at all?
I think he's like a decent quarterback, but I don't think he deserves what he hasn't done anything.
But he's capable. He's capable. He's like, he could be an Alex Smith, he can get.
Alex Smith isn't, he was all right. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Jacoby Myers, though, I think is a good, reliable target out of the slot. I think he was kind of like the security blanket for Mac Jones throughout the year last year. And I think he'll continue to do that. But I do like Devontae Parker, though, because he can be their alpha number one on the outside X receiver, something that N'Keal Harry was projected to be
but stunk. And I think Parker could add an element that they kind of lacked on the outside, the big body, go up and go get it for Mac Jones. Because it was Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, and Myers was kind of like their 3 receivers, which are all kind of similar. Kendrick Bourne kind of emerged as their red zone guy. But to bring in a Parker, 6'3", 210, 215-pound ex-receiver could add something that Mac Jones has lacked down there. And
He also loves Hunter Henry in the red zone.
yes.
He loves him.
Hunter Henry's a darn good tight end, man.
They got a pair of them.
Mm-hmm. Jonnu Smith as well. It's not a great, and the receiving core stinks, but their tight ends I think can make up for it a little bit. Like you said, everyone's going to get those big name receivers. Belichick zags. Let me go get 2 tight ends. You can't guard both of them. Up the seam, wherever. I mean, he thinks differently than anyone has ever thought, and can't count them out, no matter what they got.
3, 2, 1. Brain blast! What's your record for the Patriots?
I have the Patriots going 8-9.
8-9?
Yeah.
We're on the same wavelength. I have them going 7-10.
Wow. Okay.
Losing record. I think they, they start looking at options. What can, it's obvious that, Tom Brady's doing well without Belichick. Is Belichick doing well without Brady? Not bad last year, but will it continue? That is the question that remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's hard to give them even for me, like 8-9, because they lost some key pieces, but they did address some of them and stuff, and I think Mac Jones can continue to improve. I think they're better than 8 wins, maybe 9 or 10, but looking at the schedule, it's a very tough schedule, and I don't know if their offense and even defense is good enough to pull out some of these matchups. Green Bay, Baltimore, even Pittsburgh, Colts, Minnesota, Buffalo, Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, Buffalo. That's just tough, man. And I'm just not sure if they have the offensive firepower and then, the elite defense like they've had in the past. I do expect them to be good still, but not, shut down like in years past. So I think they'll be the middle of the pack road team, man. Believe that.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. You got any bold predictions for these boys?
Yeah, my first bold prediction is Mac Jones' hype is real. He lives up to the hype. He throws for 35 touchdowns and receives MVP votes.
Boy, howdy, who's catching all these touchdowns?
Devontae Parker.
He's a Pro Bowler?
No, he probably gets like a 7 or 8. Hunter Henry and Jonnu combined for like 15 maybe. Maybe not 15, but like 14. Jacoby Myers gets a few and then spread out between the guys.
Wet dog smell.
Hey, bold prediction, Bug.
Oh, dude, you got wet leg.
I got 2 of them.
I have Jonnu Smith is a Pro Bowler.
Love.
Everyone's crowning Hunter Henry the guy. Jonnu Smith's still there, and he's a lot better of an athlete. He has injury issues, and he's a really good blocker, which is his downfall, which sounds interesting, but he's such a good blocker that they keep him blocking instead of running them routes. But boy, howdy, they got to use that guy, man. They paid him big bucks, and they're going to use him. He's going to become Mac Jones' favorite target.
Wow, I like that. I do like Jonnu Smith. I think he is a really good tight end, the athleticism. He might be he's a good blocker too. I think that's an underrated aspect from Jonnu Smith. And I like that. He's a good weapon, man. People don't really... when he signed that contract, it was like, man, that's really good. That's awesome. Then they signed Hunter Henry. I was like, man, this is weird. But let's not forget, man, we all like Jonnu Smith.
All of us.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Not a single person cannot not like him.
I haven't met anyone. You got another one on it?
Yeah. Ramondre Stevenson outright takes Damian Harris's job.
Oh, man, that's mine.
I won't say it happens early and often, but like week 5 or 6, and it becomes a 3-down back that unlike any Patriots running back in a long time. He plays all 3 downs. He's a workhorse for the Patriots. When's the last time they've had a workhorse running back? Has that even been possible? Corey Dillon?
Lawrence Maroney?
Was he? He might have been. They have Falk with him?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because it's always been James White has been there for the longest. Before then, Shane Vereen. Before then, Burkhead did it too.
Danny Woodhead?
Danny Woodwater. But now, dude, I mean, if James White's gone, Damian Harris gets his job taken from Stevenson. I mean, are they really going to throw Pierre Strong out there? They really...
Your guess is as good as mine, dude. I have no idea.
Is Ty Montgomery going to stay healthy for 4 weeks?
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
These are all questions that they're very good questions.
I think Montgomery is that James White type of guy early and often, but he showed that he hasn't been healthy. He's a receiver. He's not necessarily
old.
A running back. And if he goes down, I mean, it's Stevenson playing that role. I think he outperforms Damian Harris, and I don't know if they'll trust Pierre Strong. I haven't even seen him much in the preseason. It sounds like Kevin Harris won't make the team. I'm a big fan. I hope he finds a spot, but it doesn't sound like he's going to make the team. Bold prediction.
By golly, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was my second bold predictions, and you probably said it better than I ever could have.
What was yours?
Ramondre Stevenson becomes the alpha male.
Really?
Yeah, dink.
I think a lot of people are thinking like that too.
I mean,
man.
that's what it sounds like, but dude, I don't know, man. You can't trust. You can trust the Patriots reports about as much as you can trust the news.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta take it with a grain of salt, maybe a little pepper.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Worcestershire.
The one thing that makes it bold for me is just saying that he's a workhorse, because like the Patriots have never had used a workhorse, and like just saying that he becomes a workhorse makes it a bold statement, because that's just not something that happens.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point.
Even though for like any other team, like the Dolphins or the Jets, it would just be like, yeah, that's not that bold. Like Breece Hall becoming the workhorse, like what? That's not that bold.
It's like,
But for the Patriots, it's like, well, they never do that. Yeah.
It's like peeing into the wind.
Yeah, it's like using your hand as a flap jacket.
A flak jacket?
Yeah.
I like that, man.
Or a flap, either one.
That's pretty good on it, flapjack.
I'll do it towards it.
You got another one?
Nope.
I got one. Steven Belichick gets mic'd up during a game. During the whole game, he makes strange animal noises throughout the game. Does not utter a single word, just feral noises. After the game, apologizes, looks straight into the camera and says, "When the lights are bright and I'm on the field, I become animalistic. I ain't thinking like you Homo sapiens."
That's so Steven Belichick.
He's a strange character, isn't he?
Yeah, that picture I was showing you earlier.
Golly.
He was about 3 seconds away from getting on all fours.
Yeah, I tell you, can you give the audience an example of what Steven Belichick would sound like during the mic'd up? Like when he gets hyped up?
Yeah, and then just...
But he's also making those strange facial expressions too. I would be like, but that would be so football, man, to be that animalistic that you forgot English. You're like a feral human.
And it's time to check on Steven Belichick. He's mic'd up for the game.
He's got a crazed look. And he's like a rabid dog.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, and he's like real polite during the press conference.
Yeah, he's like just really into the game.
For some reason, that wouldn't surprise me one nickel.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
All right, let's move on to our next party in the NFC East.
Introducing the Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Football Dolphins.
Yeah, man, Hard Rock.
This team is probably the most interesting team in this division.
I agree. Hard team to project.
A lot of storylines going on.
Yeah.
Tua, Tyreek Hill. How does Tyreek fit with Jalen Waddle? New coach.
Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds.
Raheem Mostert. Yep.
You know, they got a lot going on. Sony Michel even, you know.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. They got it. There's so much. So many moving parts. It's hard to predict where this team could go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you know, well, let me just ask you this. What is your prediction on Tua's play for this team?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think they've given Tua their full support. Tua's third season, they finally, brought in a Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle showed that he's a player in this NFL. Brought in Cedric Wilson. Brought in Chase Edmonds. Brought in Teron Armstead. Connor Williams. Brought in an offensive-minded coach. Everything you could ask for, if that Tua could ask for, they brought in. And just weapons on top of weapons, a great offensive-minded coach. They have their full support. This is Tua's year. This is make or break. He has to be that guy. He has to show that he is their franchise guy. There's no excuses anymore.
Do you think he will be?
I think he will. I think he's going to be this quarterback for years in the making. I think with this he can get close to 4,000 yards. I think he's a very accurate quarterback. I think he has a big arm. I believe that. I think, the offenses before kind of dialed it back from him because of his injuries, because, maybe he showed that he didn't have the biggest arm. But I think that's going to change. I bet he's been working on it. He's going to understand how Tyreek Hill operates, how to give him the ball down the field. And I think he will. I do believe in Tua. I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
Yeah, I concur with all those statements. I think Tua will be fine. I think a big part of it is the acquisition of Tyreek Hill. You can't teach speed, man.
You think Tyreek Hill's going to make Tua?
Yeah, that goes back to the chicken and the egg argument.
You think Tyreek Hill made Patrick Mahomes, didn't you?
I think he played a big part in Patrick Mahomes' success and stats. When in doubt, he chunked it to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's going to be there.
When in doubt, whip it out, baby.
That's what I'm saying. And Tua can do the same thing now. You can't teach that raw speed, combination of fast feet, agility. Tyreek Hill's got it, and he's a game changer. And I think he'll do the same thing for Tua, but I won't say that he's going to make Tua. I just think he'll enhance Tua, and Tua will be just fine, and he'll step up to the plate and hammer it out of the park. And dude, you look down this depth chart, very talented team, very, very talented.
Yeah, offensively, if you notice a correlation of the names we've named, what's the one thing they all have in common?
They're good.
Speed.
Oh.
Fast. Athletic. Mike Gesicki's one of the most athletic tight ends in the game.
What about Cedric Wilson?
He's super athletic. But Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert are all probably the fastest guys, some of the fastest guys at their own position.
You think they're going to change the game?
I like what the Dolphins are doing. I like Mike McDaniel. I think he's a very good offensive mind. He's going to implement that Kyle Shanahan offense to go along with that speed, man. Oh my goodness. It's very interesting. I'm very intrigued.
No one's talking about the defense.
You can talk about them.
I think it's a solid defense. I think they have been ever since a couple of years ago. They have some of the top corners in the league, Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, a young safety in Javon Holland, a young pass rusher in Jalen Phillips, who could be a stud, Christian Wilkins. I just like it. I think it's a well-rounded team. Like, from top to bottom, I don't really see many holes in this team. I think it's just how, what's the coach's name?
Mike McDaniel. Yeah.
Mike McDaniel, I think he's fascinating to me because I think he's a young, kind of outside-the-box thinker.
He's a little strange.
Yeah, he was Kyle Shanahan's right-hand man. See what he did with Debo. If they start doing that stuff with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, boy howdy.
Yes.
It's going to be a crazy-looking offense as fast as they are.
I'll go ahead and say this. Not a bold prediction, straight out. Tyreek Hill catches the most passes in his career in this offense.
That was I was going to put that as one of my bold predictions, but like you, I don't think it's bold enough.
It's not bold.
I could touch it.
Because, like, I noticed with the Chiefs, they use them pretty much strictly as a deep threat. I know, like, last year and in the last 2 years, they kind of used him a little bit more, like intermediate, get the ball in his hands. But early on in his career, it was deep passes. You know, some games he'd only catch, 4 balls, but he would have that big play. But, like, I think this, like, the way Jalen Waddle was used kind of last year, just, like, everywhere, give him the ball. Like, Tyreek Hill is going to be used that way as well. I could see him catching over 100 passes this year.
Does Tyreek Hill, the acquisition of Tyreek Hill, cap Jalen Waddle for you, or do you think it gives him more opportunity?
No, it caps him. It caps him in a sense of no longer getting the number 1 targets.
But
he's going to be the number 2 read.
But they're both different players.
Similar but different, yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle never really had big plays last year. Is that because of Tua or
the offense?
Just the offense?
Yeah, if you watch those games, man, it's really just a lot of short routes. 5, 10-yard outs, crossers, drags,
slants.
It's gonna be similar but different to continue that trend. Because I think Tua is honestly a top 5 more accurate quarterback in the league. Like when Tyreek Hill said that, I know he compared him to Mahomes, but I think he's not lying when he says he's one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. Statistics back him up. And I think like he was a top 5 pick because of his accuracy. Like obviously his arm strength isn't there, so why else would he be a top 5 pick? It's because he's an accurate quarterback.
What do you mean his arm strength isn't there?
Because that was like always the thing for Tua. Was like, oh, he doesn't have a huge arm.
It's a lie. I've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah, I agree. But it's not the biggest arm. Like you know what I mean?
Big enough.
It's big. Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm saying he's a top 5 pick mainly because he can make the throws. He's an accurate quarterback, and I think like the combination of Waddle and Hill with an accurate quarterback, keep things close, get them in. A slant is all you need for an accurate pass on a slant. Is all you need for Hill to have those huge plays, a Waddle to have those big plays.
It's just strange to me watching a left-handed quarterback still.
Yeah, it's hard. It's weird.
It's very strange.
I played with a left-handed quarterback.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It's definitely different catching the ball, to be honest.
Everything's flipped.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Like, yeah, because the spin is hitting off your right hand first, then the left, and it's just not normal if you're used to catching with a right-handed guy.
What do you got the Dolphins going this year, Bob? You got them big expectations for them, huh?
I do, man. I was talking through this with you right here is kind of almost making me change what I have written down because
it's getting we're hyping each other up.
Before we get into that, I want to mention their defense though, real quick.
Yeah, I'd love for that to happen.
The defense has dudes in all the key spots.
Oh, I've seen them.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, very much so.
They have dudes, man. They're 2 corners, 2 top 15, top 20 corners. Their safety group solid. Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, Eric Rowe. The linebacking core is not great. Jerome Baker, Van Ginkel was pretty solid last year. But, I mean, Christian Wilkins, dog. Jalen Phillips, dog. Emmanuel Ogbah, dog. You know, they got some guys in all the key spots. And I think this defense is average at worst. You know, I think their upside could be a top 10 defense. They got the key pieces, man. It's just a matter of putting it all in there.
Yeah. I agree 100% with that analysis.
Okay.
I think it's just a very, very competent, sky's the limit kind of team.
Mm-hmm. But the record, I'm gonna have them going 11-6.
By gollies.
Actually, my original was 10-7, but I think you had them at 10-7.
Yes.
We'll go 10-7 then, bub.
I'm gonna go with 9-8.
Okay. Why?
I'll go with 10-7.
Yeah.
Final answer.
I think the range is between 9-8 and 11-7.
Yeah.
11-6.
I think I just, I think we talked ourselves into, giving them that 10-7, man.
The projected win total is 7.5.
Hmm.
And I
They
think
got the over hard.
yeah, I mean, it's hard not to, man. This is a hard team to project, like we said, just the amount of talent that they have. It's hard not to. But maybe we can go through the schedule together and we'll decide what you have them going.
Go ahead.
Patriots at home.
Win.
Baltimore at Baltimore.
Loss.
Buffalo at home.
Loss.
Cincinnati at Cincinnati.
Loss.
Jets at Jets.
Win.
Minnesota at home. That's a good game.
That's a really good game.
Secretly.
I'm gonna say win.
Pittsburgh at home.
Win.
Detroit at Detroit.
Win.
Chicago at Chicago.
Win.
Cleveland at home.
Win. Well, that's weird. I'll say win.
Houston at home.
Win.
San Francisco at San Francisco.
Loss.
Chargers at Chargers.
Loss.
Buffalo at Buffalo.
Loss.
Man, that's a brutal 3 games. Green Bay at home.
Loss.
New England away.
Win.
Jets at home.
Win.
10-7, bub.
Yep.
That's the one.
I mean that Vikings game's very intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's a
That one's a coin flip to me.
That's a sneaker. Minnesota's win probability is 54% at home,
Very even.
so it's pretty close.
Coin flip on them.
It's just Minnesota being at home, kind of. That's tough.
Do they have a really good home? I guess they do.
Yes. Skull.
Skull.
They got good fans. I'm not gonna lie.
Viderci.
Bold prediction.
Tua wins NFL MVP.
Oh my gosh, that's bold.
Yeah, he literally just goes bonkers. Not only with his arm, but with his legs.
Ooh.
People forget that guy can run a little bit. He can scamper. He reminds me of Russell Wilson. Turn the other side.
Flipped him.
Left-handed.
Got him in the mirror.
I'll say he's Russell Wilson, but less of a cornball.
And more of a Hawaiian. I'll tell you what, man. So Tua wins MVP.
Uh-huh.
Over under 4,500 passing yards.
If he's going to win MVP, over.
Over under 35 touchdowns.
Over.
Over under 13 interceptions.
13?
Yeah.
Under.
Over under.
This is if, well, I'm picking him to win MVP.
Yeah, his MVP numbers, you know.
Yeah, but let's do it again, but my realistic expectations for him.
Over under 3750 passing yards.
Over.
Over under 25 touchdowns.
I'm going to go, that one's tough.
Over under 25.5 touchdowns.
25.5.
24.5.
I'm going to go under.
Over under 11.5 interceptions.
I'll go under.
Over under 300 rush yards. That's kind of
That's a lot.
is that
I don't know.
a little less than 20 a game?
I'll say over.
Okay. That's not bad. I mean, that's not great, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean, he could be great. I'm not sure.
over under 95 catches for Tyreek Hill.
I'll go over.
Over under 1,200 yards.
Under.
Over under 6.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just thought I would kind of break that down a little.
You forgot to mention Teddy Poopwater.
No, we're not talking about Teddy Two Gloves. He's got his hands busy.
You got a bold one?
Yeah, one guy we didn't really talk about.
Oh.
Their star running back, Chase Edmonds.
Ooh, cortisone.
This running back group as a whole isn't very good. I don't care what nobody said. Oh, they brought a Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel, Myles Gaskin. As a whole, it's not very good, but I believe Chase Edmonds is a good player, and he's the best one they have. My bold prediction, Chase Edmonds, workhorse back, gets over 250 total touches and breaks out in a big way.
Yes, sir, Ski. Oh!
Chase Edmonds is going to bring what we thought Myles Gaskin was going to bring last year to this offense because he's actually good and extremely fast and a great receiver. And I think Dolphins fans had big expectations from Gaskin last year. I think we all kind of did. He had a big opportunity, and he just didn't show out. But that opportunity with someone like Chase Edmonds,
Who we've seen do something like it.
it's a good electric back. I think Chase Edmonds is getting ready to explode. And it's a bold prediction, but I also do believe he will be breaking out this year. He's going to catch 50 balls, 60 balls in this offense, man. He's going to get fed. And then with the improvements on offensive line, he's going to be a good runner through the tackles. They were horrid last year. Horrid on the ground last year with that offensive line. They barely do anything. They got a little bit more up front.
They got Teron Armstead, man.
And I believe Chase Edmonds' burst and juice is going to bring a different element, and he's going to break out.
Yeah, I actually have that as a bold prediction, too.
Hey, very good job.
I guess my bold prediction, it says Chase Edmonds, certified workhorse dog monkey.
That's equivalent to what I've got.
Another bold prediction is I have the Miami Dolphins having the number one offense in the NFL.
Number one offense.
Yes.
Over the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Over the Bills.
I heard it here first.
Over the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Wow, man, I like that.
Yes, I got boop.
You sure did.
What do you got?
Mine's on par to your first one, not as extreme, but Tua breaks out, leads the NFL in completion percentage, and throws for over 4,000 yards.
Hasn't he already done that?
But like on big volume.
Oh. But he's led in...
540 pass attempts.
Holy, what's his completion percentage?
71.
Dang, that's very efficient and very
Very
clean.
good. Yeah,
Clean.
dude, he completes like 400 of those.
That's nuts.
No, I don't know. I don't know the math on the top of my head, but he has a really efficient year, and Tua can do that though. It's not crazy, you know.
Yeah, do you have another
A little bit. No, not really. Yeah, I'll actually say this. Top 10 offense and top 5 defense. Top 10 offense and top 10 defense. Finished top 10 in both.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I believe it,
I believe it as well.
actually.
It's potential. Potentially
is
could
bold.
be. Yeah, could potentially be there.
I have one last prediction.
Sure.
Bear with me, please. Tedley Shrimp Eater.
Who's this, man?
Have you ever seen their helmet with the dolphin? I think it was the 90s,
The
maybe
damn
early
Marines.
2000, with the dolphin with the helmet on.
Yes.
Very cute. Very cute idea. Very just easy on the eyes. I love looking at that little guy.
He's got that nice teal on him.
Will they bring Tedley Shrimp Eater to life?
Okay.
Make an aquarium life-size exhibit
Beautiful.
and have a dolphin with a helmet on.
Okay.
Um,
Ace Ventura.
They didn't really do a lot of research. They didn't get with marine biologists. And during the games, Tedley gets real aggressive.
Oh, no.
He wants to get out there. He wants to lay the Rydell on someone. He's thinking to himself, I got this Rydell on. I want to lay lay a hit on someone, man. What do you got this helmet on me for?
All right.
He's cheering. He's got the echolocation. It's actually a magnificent thing until, things get a little overblown. He starts ramming the exhibit with his helmet.
That's funny because they're smart animals. So, like, what if his favorite player is like Christian Wilkins? He watches him.
Awesome.
He watches him play and he gets all fired up.
He jumps out of the water.
And then what if they and so they beat the Bills and they kidnap like a backup and drop him in there, and he just goes to town on them. He plays football with them. It's
I just think that would be a good idea.
Oklahoma drill with the Dolphin.
You would get destroyed.
Yeah, that's home court advantage.
But I think that would be. I think they might do it. Bring back Tedley, but in human.
What was his name?
Anim-
Tedley Shrimp Fart.
Teddy Shrimp Eater.
Shrimp Eater. What a guy. I like that idea, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's hope, man. It's a bold prediction. You never know.
Someone get Dan Marino on that one.
Dan Marino's probably against that idea.
He was supportive. Nah, he was a criminal.
What does Dan Marino do now?
I don't know. He probably sleeps with Gatorade bottles.
Probably, man. That guy's got a lot of hits to the head. Let's go.
Let's go to Orchard, man.
The last but not least, the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills.
Bill Mafia. Choo choo. Pow pow.
Tell you what, man. Buffaloes are a very intimidating animal. I'll tell them that. Isn't it cool how, like, Buffalo Bills, their logo's a buffalo? But
hold that thought, because I want to talk about the team name.
All right.
After.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I literally just thought of it. It's weird.
I was. That's one of my, like. I guess it's not a bold prediction, but it's just something I thought was interesting.
It is very.
But we can get into it after we get into the nitty gritty. You know what we're working with in Buffalo, man. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They brought in Von Miller. What are you thinking about these Buffalo Bills going in? I mean, you know they're everyone's Super Bowl contender. You know they're a favorite to come out of the AFC. But Luke, I don't care about everyone else. I care about your opinion right here, right now.
Well, we'll get into the team, but you mentioned the biggest name, the biggest addition in the offseason was Von Miller. I think the addition of Von Miller, I'm going to go ahead and say it, makes him the favorite in the AFC. I think just on paper, I think Von Miller is a huge addition. I mean, I understand he might be past his prime. And yeah, it's a big deal, Von Miller. But it's really a big deal because it's been, Jerry Hughes, Mario Addison as like their main guys. They've added Gregory Rousseau, Boogie Basham, Shaq Lawson, who are emerging young guys, but they bring in an elite pass rusher like Von Miller that they really haven't had, like a crazy freak like Von Miller. And Von Miller still has it. We saw with the Rams last year. I think this is a really big deal, especially getting a guy that can get after the quarterback. We can get 13, 15 sacks in the season for you to go along with this just stout defense, man. I mean, their weakest part is their interior defensive line, but you still have guys like Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, Tim Settle in that unit. I mean, everything else just looks, as a whole, the best defense I've seen so far through these divisional previews. To go along with arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, arguably top 5 receiver in the league. So it's just like, I look at this team and I think, this is really darn good.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, the Von Miller thing is something Buffalo has needed.
It's huge. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Get pressure, get into the QB's face. Even if he's not getting sacks, just getting in the backfield, disrupting. It's something they haven't had. It adds that next dimension.
It's big.
To the Buffalo Bills, which is, a great accuracy. They paid him. I mean, they backed up the Brink truck.
Give it to him,
dude. Brink's
dude.
truck for Von Miller on that one. Another addition, they drafted James Cook. Out of Georgia. I guess he will kind of fill the pass catching role. I guess Devin Singletary is the starter, Lou?
He is.
What about Zach Moss?
He got some work in that preseason game. He looked pretty good. I think he's still on the team. I still think he'll be on the team.
Yeah, I think he is too.
But I think down the stretch last year, we saw Devin Singletary kind of carry that load and be really good doing it. And I think they like what they saw, and he was capable of doing it. And I think they're just going to ride him until they can't, and then sprinkle in James Cook where they can.
Is there any potential that James Cook is the every down back?
Not without an injury. I don't believe that, no.
Yeah.
I think Devin Singletary really, he's not even playing in preseason. They're holding him out. They view him as like the lead guy, to be the guy this year, which is surprising. But like I said, man, down the stretch, he proved a lot of people wrong. He showed he's capable of doing it. He showed the Bills that he should be able to be their guy. And in this offense, with the having Josh Allen as a quarterback, opening up rushing lanes, getting those defenders on their heels, it's helpful, and Devin Singletary capitalized on it. And I think he's fine, don't you? I mean,
Devin Singletary?
yeah,
I like him a heck of a lot more than you do.
Yeah, I don't think he's a very good player.
I think he's a good running back.
He's a good situation.
Luke hates Devin Singletary.
I don't hate him.
You think he's not good?
But realistically, I don't think he's very good. He doesn't do anything very good. And I'm saying this not to be negative. I'm just telling you how it is, how I'm being realistic. If you put like a Kareem Hunt or someone in this offense and instead of Devin Singletary, I wouldn't know what to do about it.
Another interesting part of this offense is Gabriel Davis inheriting the number 2. What is that? Do you think he's capable of being that guy?
Yes.
Apart from the fact that he scored 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs in the playoff game?
Yeah, I don't view that as much. That was big for the Bills last year. Unfortunate loss, man, horrible. But I think he can be a good number 2, a solid number 2 for them, with no longer having Emmanuel Sanders there and Cole Beasley. I think Gabe Davis last year, especially in the playoffs, in a big game like that, must-win game, he shows out. And he looked good, man. He put on some pounds this offseason. I think he's a good number 2 receiver in the NFL. I do believe that.
Yeah, I believe in him. And a lot of buzz on Isaiah McKenzie.
Yep.
He's always kind of been the special teams guy, kick returner, punt returner kind of guy. But I guess he's taken that. I like that. I like their wide receiver core more than I have in a while.
Yeah, they've got some studs, man. I think McKenzie's been there for a few years. I think he's, 27, 28 now. But I think he's kind of developed chemistry with Josh Allen that's kind of gone under the radar. Because a few games last year, he kind of popped off. I remember one week, I think Diggs or someone was out. Sanders maybe was out. And he stepped in. He had like 7-8 catches over 100 yards, maybe 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I just like, because in the past, Buffalo's always had like an older, like Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley.
Jamison Crowder.
He's
there now.
But I like, they have him?
Yeah.
That might be a little nice in there.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting to watch who's going to win that slot battle. Is Crowder or McKenzie? That's interesting.
Yeah, I just like the Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, and Isaiah McKenzie with the sprinkle of Jamison Crowder. He might have a big role. Who knows?
One of my more surprising guys this preseason was Khalil Shakur.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, he looks really good, man. He's always open. He's fast. He's got some twitch, man. He's a good player. They hit a good one on that. I believe that. I also saw a lot of O.J. Howard in that game.
Really?
He wears number 8. It looks pretty cool. He doesn't even look like the same guy. It's very strange.
How did he look?
They target him a lot. He played a lot, but he's fine. He hasn't had a good camp from what I've been reading. But he went to Alabama. He had flashes in Tampa, but he's just never been able to be that guy. So maybe it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, they got Dawson Knox, man.
And then, Tommy Sweeney's there as well.
What do you have the Buffalo Bills going in terms of record?
See, this is tough. They have a tough schedule. I'm not going to lie. Projected wins is 11.9, so pretty much 12. I'm hitting over on 12. It's just a matter of where can they go from there.
So you're going 12-5?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I think 12 is like their floor. There's only one game they're not favored in, and it's at Cincinnati, which I think that's a winnable game, if you ask me. I'm gonna have them going 14-3. I'm a believer.
14-3?
Yep.
Dang.
You
have them a lock as the AFC coming out of the AFC pretty much.
The Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens.
In the AFC Championship?
Yep. Those are my 2 teams in the AFC. I think those are the 2 best teams in the AFC. I believe it.
I have the Buffalo Bills going 12-5.
Ooh. How so? Why down on them?
Daboll's gone. I haven't anointed Josh Allen yet.
Don't say that.
I haven't anointed him.
I don't know, dude. He went toe-to-toe with the best team in the AFC last year, and they improved.
He's got to prove it to me.
Shoot, man. I don't know if I'm there anymore, man.
I think I'm just real harsh on quarterbacks. I don't know.
Josh Allen is the guy. He's proved it, man. There's no other way.
What about without his legs?
He's going to have his legs.
He's not going to run.
Yeah, he is.
He has to.
He will.
He's an escape artist.
I don't know. I mean, 12-5 could happen. I mean, what games do you have them losing, man?
A lot.
See, the Rams.
You ever heard of trap games?
Who wins week 1, man? First game of the NFL season at Los Angeles Rams. Buffalo or the Rams?
The Rams.
Wow. Maybe so.
That would be a good game. Yeah.
I can't wait. That's opening night, Thursday, I think.
Thursday?
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a Thursday game.
Why? It's the first game of the season.
Because Thursday games always stink.
Yeah, but it's the first game of the year, man. It doesn't matter.
What was the first game last year? Cowboys and Buccaneers?
Probably one of the best games of the year.
It was a really good game.
It was amazing.
Very sad to see Zeke, though.
He got destroyed.
Yeah, he got 8-0, but we didn't know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the best rush defense at the time.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't.
We knew they were going to be one of them guys. I mean, dude, they have a top 5 defense, top 5 offense. I'll sleep with you. And it just looks like a team, though, is going to create a ton of turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, they have studs back there. Tre'Davious White. But, ooh, a name I'd like
Dude, if you, like...
Hey, come on, man. I want to...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Like Sunday, like when the Bills are playing an opponent and they always switch over on red zone to the Bills, their defense is just swarming every freaking game. And it's like... It's crazy, really. Like, it's just like every game, it's turnovers, or they're just like other team's team just can't get in the end zone. It's like this team is just swarms. I'll give credit to Buffalo for that, man. Their defense is always just swarming.
I want to shout out to Kier Elam.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to be a stud, and him and Tre'Davious are going to be the best cornerback duo in the league.
Okay.
Certified.
Yeah, I like that. I like Kiri. Taron Johnson, don't be sleeping on him either.
Hey, put it on a quilt.
I like that because
Tell your mother hello.
He was really good in the preseason game.
He was real good. He's going to be a stud.
He was awesome. He was locking down slant routes, man. That's how you know those guys got it, too.
That was kind of my bold prediction.
Oh, that's fair.
Kier Elam is going to be better than Tre'Davious White his rookie year. Is he a rookie?
He sure is, baby.
You better believe he's going to be better than Tre'Dave.
I think he was their first-round pick out of Florida.
They always got an Elam guy coming out.
He's nice on it, though.
There's a lot of Elam guys coming out of Florida, it seems like.
Yeah.
Jason Elam.
Matt Elam. The safety for Baltimore, you remember him?
You know Jason Elam?
Yeah. He wasn't Florida.
He's a kicker.
Yeah. He's good, yeah, real good.
He used to have the record. He might still have it.
No.
Tied for the record. Who has it now? Oh,
Tucker.
66?
67, wasn't it?
Holy matrimony.
Yeah, the GOAT, Justin Tuck,
He
man.
really is. He deserved that money.
Absolutely.
James Cook is Dalvin Cook's sister.
Wow. 2022 never disappoints.
Yep.
That's very... I mean, yeah, I guess technically, biologically.
Biologically, it doesn't make sense.
He's brother, sister, but he's related. We can say that. He looks just like Dalvin Cook.
He literally looks
Runs alike, fast like him, little.
handsome.
He's actually put on a little bit of weight, but he's like a short little...
He's a short little thing.
He's kind of short, yeah, but he's good. I mean, his talent is definitely there. It's interesting if he can develop into a 3-down guy like Dalvin Cook did.
I think he will.
You think so?
I think so.
Wow. That would be a treat, man.
That'd be a beautiful thing.
I've got some bold predictions. Josh Allen wins his first MVP. You have any rebuttals?
What'd you say?
Josh Allen wins his first MVP.
Go for it.
That's not that bold. He's probably
It's not bold at all.
he's probably good.
His probably odds are the highest.
Yeah, it probably is. But he deserves to win his first. It'd just be nice to see that. Stephon Diggs leads the NFL in catches and receiving yards.
I love that.
You like that one?
Yeah, but where's the bold?
That's not bold for you?
No?
Gabriel Davis goes for 1,010.
Please?
You like that one too?
I like that one.
How about this one? Von Miller has his career high in sacks.
That's bold. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking.
He goes for 23, baby.
Dude, that'd be so crazy. But, yeah, that's super bold, but, I can't put it out.
Dude, what's his career high? Like 21 maybe?
22, 21, something like
The
that.
record's what, like 23 and a half or something?
Yeah. He's up there, dude.
Shout out Michael Strahan.
Yeah, got a gap.
Freak. Von Miller's a freak too, though. He's always a sack leader. Probably the best sack guy of this generation. Would you say about that?
Yes, he's a sack machine. That's what he goes on the field to do.
Would you say he's the best of the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that too, bub.
He's the best sacker of our generation.
Yeah, he's a big sack guy.
He's just got it down to a science, dude. His spin move, that one arm.
The power rush.
Yeah.
He can
the
do
push.
anything. Because he's not. I think honestly it's like the low center of gravity.
His leverage.
Because he's not tall. He's probably 6 foot.
Yeah, he's not that big either.
And he's like just a freak.
Yeah, he's super. It's his speed and his leverage.
Strength.
How he can get around that tackle
Mm-hmm.
before the tackle's even moved.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's already
wild.
on his right shoulder.
And if you notice, he's always the lowest guy in terms of being lower to the ground. He's always the lower one. Literally 90% of the time.
Shout out to Von Miller, dude.
Absolutely. He's a stud freak.
I want to talk about the Buffalo Bills name.
Sure.
What is Buffalo Bills?
I think it's Bills Buffalo.
Buffalo is the city they play in?
Yep.
Buffalo, New York, correct?
Hmm?
What is a bill?
A bill. I'll tell you, a bill is your neighbor. White neighbor, comes out every now and again. Waters the yard, does the lawn. You see him maybe once a week.
Is he a good guy?
Comes out of the grocery store, does normal things, doesn't say much. Just, hey, good morning to you. Say, hey, Bill, good morning. And that's about it. That's Bill.
So basically, this is a team for the average Joe.
Yes, correct.
That's why I always support Buffalo. But also, I think this team's named after a serial killer.
Okay.
Buffalo Bill is a very infamous serial killer.
Really?
He's in the movie Silence of the Lambs. That guy, the antagonist, is Buffalo Bill.
That's his name, actually?
Yeah. So am I reading into this, or is this some kind of conspiracy thought?
I think it's a conspiracy. But what does it mean, though?
What does Bill mean? I want to know.
I'm just confused that their city is Buffalo, but their logo is also a buffalo.
I think that is the strangest thing. Like, the city is the mascot, and it's the animal buffalo.
And it's an animal, and they have a bill. What's a bill?
I tried to look up the origin, but they just had a fan vote, and they voted for Bill. The Bills. Is that a slang term for buffalo?
It has to be, right? There's like a bill of a hat, a dollar bill. Bill your neighbor. Like, what does it actually mean? Civil rights stuff? It just doesn't register. But the most interesting thing to me is the city name and their logo is a bill. Like,
Yeah.
or a buffalo, sorry. Oh, it's named after Western frontiersman Buffalo Bill. So maybe it is a serial killer, Bob.
It's named after Bill Cody.
Buffalo Bill Cody.
Oh, he was a Wild West themed entertainer. Oh, we did horseback trick riders, sharpshooters, cowboys, and Indians, and pretty girls, and various things.
Buffalo Bisons would be cool.
I just like their logo. I like the one. I like the one that's really detailed. Like, it looks like a buffalo grazing.
Is that not their current one?
The white helmet with the red.
Oh, the Lee Evans one?
Yeah, and it's like an actual beautiful grazing bison.
Yeah.
And their other ones are kind of like, what would you say, modernized buffaloes?
Yeah, he's got the little red stripe on him.
Yeah, if a buffalo was a robot, that's what it would look like. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. It's a buffalo with the red thing coming out of its eyes.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe it has to do with Buffalo built.
Oops. You got any more?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Stevie Johnson.
Dude, shouts out to Stevie Johnson and Fred Jackson.
Yeah.
I love... Oh, and Jerome Simpson.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Roscoe Parrish.
That's a good one.
Jim Kelly.
Lee Evans.
LaShawn McCoy.
C.J. Spiller.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, Fred Jackson and Marshawn Lynch.
Shout out to Cole Beasley.
No, dude, that guy makes rap music. You know that?
Does he really?
Yeah. He's got a freestyle on one of those radio shows.
Yo, I'm Cole Beasley.
He's still a free agent.
What?
He's still a free
He
agent.
ain't gonna get signed.
Why? Blackballed?
Yeah, he's got a big mouth.
Yeah, that's true. He's talking out of line.
He's talking in lines.
He's parable.
He's talking in a simile.
Yeah, he'll find a job. He's got to.
Metaphorically speaking.
What?
I don't know. I just want to say that.
Generally speaking.
Genderly speaking.
Gender fluid talk.
Oh, gender fluidity.
Yes, sir. I'm a bear still.
Hey, man, keep doing you, man.
Yeah, it's been a good journey so far, man.
You smell like one now.
I haven't showered since last Thursday. I'm starting to eat more fruit, more fish. Starting to figure out how to climb bigger trees.
When do you hibernate?
Once the winter comes, man, it's still warm out there. I still gotta garner up my food and harvest.
Are you really gonna hibernate for months?
Just a few, yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Leave it alone, man. You don't wake a sleeping bear.
Do you want me to wake you up when September ends?
No.
After.
Yeah. Wake me up in March.
It's gonna be like that Sandy Cheeks episode in SpongeBob.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I got a lot of my inspiration from, was that one episode.
You're gonna try. She's a squirrel, though, isn't she?
Yeah, but she like turns into a bear, like animalistic bear. And
Yeah,
it's funny because she's like half asleep. She's like, it's angry.
Do squirrels hibernate?
No, dude, she turns into a bear.
No, dude, she's a squirrel.
But she gets real big, like a bear, remember?
Yeah, but squirrels probably eat a lot to get big so they can have enough food to hibernate.
Maybe so.
That's interesting.
But it is bear-like.
Very bear-like. That's how I picture a bear hibernation.
Real angry, and she tears them up.
It was very scary.
You have to dress up like bears. They put the bear fur in there, tape it around them.
Yeah, they were cold.
Yeah.
That's a good episode.
Who you calling Pinhead? I'm Dirty Dan.
I'm so cold I can use my nose drippings for
Chopsticks.
chopsticks. I'm so cold I can see my breath.
I'm so cold I can wear my hands as a slipper.
Alright, and that was another episode of Forget What You Heard. As always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support. We love you guys. Have a great and wonderful week. Remember, you can contact us at forgetwhatyouheardpodcast@gmail.com. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. We'll be back and better than ever. Peace, love, and happiness.
Top of the morning.